Welcome everybody to Intensity Broadcasting. My name is Josh Holl. This is the Holl Heating and Sheet Metal Rebels Racing League as we get ready for our final race of the season here tonight at Atlanta Motor Speedway. 4 drivers competing for a championship. You see those drivers highlighted in red. That is Daniel Cunningham, Jonah Colbert, Eddie Smith, and Cody Boehm. They will be competing here tonight. And we will crown one of them champion at the end of this race. Of course, I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Twitch. We do appreciate you tuning in here tonight. A little issue there with our Facebook stream, but we got it straightened out here tonight. We want to thank everybody for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like button, follow, and subscribe. That way you get notified anytime we go live here on Intensity Broadcasting. See Jonah Colbert out on track right now, one of our Championship 4. And I apologize for the silence for a moment as I get some technical stuff that just popped up on my end. Of course, always has to be the last night when you have all your issues. But here we go. We got about 33 seconds here in practice. Of course, as I mentioned, those 4 drivers competing for the championship here tonight. And they don't necessarily have to win the race. They just have to finish ahead of the other 3. And currently, Daniel Cunningham is your fastest truck on the track. See Eric Tracy out there as well. Currently running in the 7th position. Looks like everybody's coming on pit road as we get ready for qualifying. Again, 100 laps will be the distance here at Atlanta Motor Speedway. So we already have our first driver making their way out onto the racetrack. And that is the 56 of Lance Sponberg. Eddie Smith also on track for qualifying. Jonah Colbert out on track for qualifying. And Daniel Cunningham. So 3 out of the 4, actually all 4 of our championship drivers making their way on track, getting their qualifying attempt underway. Oh, apologize, my screen just decided it wanted to do a windowed mode. Let's get that back where it needs to be. We see Cody Boehm coming off of turn number 4. He's coming to take the white flag on his qualifying attempt. He's going to jump up to the top of the board. Daniel Cunningham currently runs back in the... Well, he just jumped up to the top of the board himself. Eddie Smith just goes P2. Let's see where Jonah goes as he's coming off of turn number 4 heading down to the stripe. And Jonah is going to go up into P number 1 as Cody Boehm comes off of turn number 4 across the stripe himself. And Boehm's going to slide back into the 3rd position. So how about that? An 08, a 1, a 13, and a 13 by our championship 4. So all 4 of them on pretty even playing field right now is Daniel Pope, who's shown a lot of speed the last few weeks, comes off of turn number 4 down to the stripe. And Pope's going to break up the championship party by putting it in P2. Kyle Roberts coming off of turn number 4 and down to the stripe. And Roberts jumps up into the 10th position. Here's Tyler Rice in the 6th machine. He's just making his way through turns 3 and 4 for the last time. Coming down to the stripe. And Rice is going to put up into the 9th position. Alex Veith off of turn number 4. And Alex Veith is going to go P12. But this Dylan Bates, another driver breaking up the championship party, he's going to jump up into the 3rd position. Charles Stevens Jr. making his way off of turn number 4. And Junior is going to come across the line in the 8th position. Brandon Wallace coming across. He's going to go P10. Charlie Hummore coming off of turn number 4. Coming to the stripe to take the white flag. And Elmore is going to go up into the 13th position. Mickey Isaac just went 16th. As he comes down the backstretch for the final time on his qualifying attempt. Isaac really letting it hang out there off of turn number 4. Down across the stripe. And Isaac is going to go P8. As Aaron Adcock comes to take the green flag on his qualifying attempt. Off of turn number 4, coming down to take the white flag for his 2nd lap. And Aaron Adcock has not had the season that he was hoping to have this year. Hoping to rebound here tonight. He comes across the stripe, and he's going to go P5. And as we got about 3 minutes left in qualifying, it looks like everybody has come down to make their qualifying attempt. So we'll take this time to thank our great sponsors throughout the league. course, we want to thank Holl Heating and Sheet Metal, being the season sponsor. Also want to thank Kinder Farm and Ranch, Cofield Asphalt Refinishing, Peg Leg Felts, and the Thunderstruck Super Series, all helping out and making this league possible. Of course, we've got some of our own sponsors we want to mention. We want to thank Race EPI for their support through the years. And if you're looking for setups or coaching here on iRacing, check out raceepi.com. There's a link down below in the description. Also, don't forget to check out intensitybroadcasting.com for all your hats, t-shirts, coffee mugs, mouse pads, novelty t-shirts, and league apparel. All there at intensitybroadcasting.com. You can also find Atlee Atman Weiss's racing gear, as well as a couple other drivers there as well. So check that out, intensityracing.com. Of course, the Butt Kicker. The Butt Kicker is an established and trusted leader in gaming haptics. The award-winning line of Butt Kicker products lets users feel ultra-low frequency sounds. Their products are used and endorsed around the world by leading PC and console gamers, including professional sim racers. The patented design makes them incredibly accurate, powerful, and virtually indestructible. The Gamer Plus is a new and upgraded sim racing haptic that reproduces immersive, accurate, and powerful sim racing, flight sim, and gaming effects. Check out the full line of Butt Kicker products and figure out which one's right for you. Visit thebuttkicker.com. Also, there's a link down below in the description. I'll bring you right to the Butt Kicker's website, as we've got a minute left here in qualifying. We see our top 4 all currently in the top 10. Let's take a look at the race info here tonight. 76 degrees, but the track temperature is 86 degrees. That's going to make the track slick. Atlanta's known for being slick and hard on the tires, so watch for that here tonight, as tire wear will be a premium. We saw in the first race the drivers were making their way down onto pit road somewhere between laps 35 and 40, so look for the pit window to open up then. And we should see 2 sets of green flag pit stops if we go green like we did in the Outlaw race here tonight. So time is expiring here in this session. When we get ready to look at our starting lineup. And your peg leg pull award here tonight will go to Jonah Colbert. That'll be the final peg leg pull award of the season. Daniel Pope will roll off from P number 2. Dylan Bates will roll off in 3rd, with Daniel Cunningham in the 4th position, followed by Aaron Adcock and championship hopeful Cody Boehm rolling off from 6th. Eddie Smith rolls off from 7th, with Eric Tracy to his outside in 8th. Mickey Isaac and Charles Stevens Jr. will round out your top 10. Josh Oswald and Brandon Wallace starting side by side. That could be a lot of fun, as you know how those two like to race around each other. Followed by Spencer Gay and Tyler Rice. Charlie Elmore rolls off 15th, with Lance Sponberg back in 16th, and we'll find Alex Veith in the 17th position. Kyle Roberts in 18th, and Matt Kleeman rounding out the field here tonight at Atlanta. So in the first race, we saw the championship 4 have to slide to the back of the field. We're not going to see that here tonight. So we're going to have our traditional 100-lap race here tonight from Atlanta. So an incredibly clean race in the first one. So I'll watch for this one tonight to see how clean they can be in the final race of the season. Here we go. Pace truck getting ready to take that hard left-hand turn on the pit road. Jonah Colbert's going to lead them down to the green flag, which is in the air. And we are racing here at Atlanta, and already Jonah Colbert getting out to the lead. He's got Daniel Pope there on the high side, but here comes Dylan Bates rolling into the second position as Daniel Cunningham rolls back in the fourth spot. Again, don't forget, your Championship 4 will be highlighted in red up on the ticker. As the field makes their way off of turn number 4 for the first time, and Jonah Colbert's going to lead the first lap, but don't forget, points don't matter in this race here tonight. It's all about where the drivers finish, as to win the championship, you only have to finish ahead of the other 4 drivers. Doesn't mean you have to win the race. All right, we got some great battling back here. We see Aaron Adcock down on the low side of Cody Boehm. Daniel Cunningham right in front as well, as Boehm's trying to use that high line advantage, try to get by Daniel Cunningham. And Eddie Smith right here in the 9th position, just trying to roll along, trying to save his stuff for the end. Well, Dylan Bates has gotten around Jonah Colbert to take over the lead. Let's take a look to see how Bates was able to use the high side to roll right on by Jonah Colbert, which is what you can do on fresh tires. It's really easy to move forward on fresh tires, as we see a little 3 wide action. Mickey Isaac up on the high side, hanging it out there 3 wide. Now he's up to the outside of Eric Tracy. And look at Mickey Isaac go up into the 3rd position. Usually Mickey, we think of him as the closer. Normally we think of him being there at the end, but right now he's showing some moxie up there up on the high side, as he's already moved himself up into the 3rd position, up 6 spots from where he started. Cody Boehm runs back in the 5th position. Daniel Cunningham back in 7th, and Eddie Smith right behind in 8th. So your Championship 4 all within the top 10. And much like we saw in the first race, just take it easy, trying to feel out the racetrack right now and save all the hard racing to the end. How about that? Mickey Isaac drives up into the lead up on the high side. Let's take a look at this pass up on the high side of Jonah Colbert. Colbert is trying to get a run there on Dylan Bates, and as they go into turn number 1, Mickey just pounds it in there up on the high side. Look at the speed he was able to carry off of turn number 2 to take it down the backstretch and take the lead on the high side. And now he's starting to pull away from 2nd place, Dylan Bates, and Jonah Colbert running in 3rd. And Mickey just using that high line from the drop of the green flag, something we normally don't see here at Atlanta. Drivers trying to use the high line, but that is what's working for him right now. And I wonder if maybe Jonah or Dylan is seeing that. No, they're going to stay down on the low side. Brandon Wallace and Josh Oswald side by side as they come off of turn number 2. And Oswald's going to get up into the 11th position. Oh, Oswald's going to get up into the wall, make some contact, and that's going to slow that truck down incredibly. A lot of damage to the right side of that truck. And also checked up, I believe, it was Charlie Elmore, who was riding right behind that as well. As Oswald now tries to get himself back regrouped to get himself back into the race. Cody Boehm being challenged by the 16 of Daniel Pope as they go down into turn number 3. And now Dylan Bates still being challenged by Jonah Colbert right behind. We'll Our first message in the chat here, and PJ Manzo says, come on, Bubba Wallace, bring home that trophy here tonight. So Cody Boehm back around Daniel Pope. He's trying to run down Eric Tracy, as Jonah Colbert currently is the highest running of our championship 4. As we were just 10 laps in, and Mickey Isaac is being challenged for the lead as Dylan Bates was just taking a look down to the inside. So we ride along with Dylan Bates here. We see the two different lines down into the corner. Mickey Isaac right up against the wall. Dylan Bates run down on the low side. And you see the momentum that Mickey Isaac is able to get off the corner. And a big run there that time for Mickey Isaac. And the caution is out. It looks like it's for the 69 of Spencer Gay. Whoops. And that's going to bring up our first Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind as we take a look to see what happened to Spencer Gay. See him running side by side with the 35 of Kyle Roberts. Oh, just a little bit of contact between the 35 and the 69. Oh! Matt Kleeman was caught up in that as well as another driver. Let's take a look here from the blimp to see exactly who the other drivers were involved. Like Alex Veith getting a little piece, and then Kleeman just getting cleaned out there at the end. Doesn't hit anything, able to keep it going straight. As man, could have been a whole lot worse for a lot of drivers as everybody made their way down on the pit road, and Mickey Isaac continues to be your leader. So our first race tonight, we saw no cautions come out. Already on lap number 12, we get our first caution of the race. As the lights go off on the pace truck. We're going to re-rack them, restack them, and get ready to refire them here at Atlanta. So Mickey Isaac will be your leader. He's going to choose the inside lane. Dylan Bates up on the high side in position number 2. Jonah Colbert and Daniel Pope will restart in row 2. Jonah, the highest running of our championship 4. Right behind, we see Daniel Cunningham and Cody Boehm. And Eddie Smith runs back in the 9th position. So all 4 of our championship drivers in the top 10. Now we've got everybody back on even tires and an even playing field, so we'll see how this plays out. I see Dylan Bates trying to get some heat in those tires here for the restart. Restarts here at Atlanta can be tricky. We've seen many times in many different races drivers spinning the tires here on the restart. Here we go. Mickey Isaac's going to lead him down to the Geico restart zone. Green flag is back in the air. And we are back racing. It looks like a pretty clean start for the entire field as they make their way down into turn number 1. Mickey Isaac down on the low side. We know he does not like that low side. He's been using that high side all race long. It's been working for him as he comes off of turn number 2 there. Still side by side. Dylan Bates up on the high side this time. He's going to get the push here from Daniel Pope as they go down into turn number 3. Here comes Jonah. He's got Cody Boehm to the outside and Move Boehm trying to get around and into the top spot of the championship race. Here comes Daniel Pope right there on the back bumper. He's going to look down to the inside now of Dylan Bates. Mickey Isaac, Cody Boehm right in behind as Boehm using that high lane to his advantage. Now Boehm's going to be up into the 3rd position. Eddie Smith out of nowhere as he was back in 9th on the restart. Now he's up into the 6th spot and he's battling with Jonah Colbert. As Daniel Pope looks down to the inside of Dylan Bates trying to take over the lead. Mickey Isaac has been able to slide up onto that high lane. Let's see if he's able to use that high lane advantage like he was earlier in the race. As Daniel Pope and Cody Boehm side by side. And here comes Jonah taking a look down to the inside. He's going to tuck back in line though behind Pope. Boehm's able to clear himself from Daniel Pope and puts himself solidly up into the 2nd position and solidly the highest running playoff driver. Jonah Colbert runs back in 5th. He's side by side with teammate Eddie Smith. And then Daniel Cunningham runs back in the 8th position as he's trying to make his way back through the field. He's racing around Charles Stevens Jr. and Aaron Adcock. And we know Aaron Adcock is hungry for a win. Ooh, some issues for Alex Veith. Not sure what happened to Veith here. Oh, just got down on the apron. Got a little loose, goes down through the grass. Mowing the lawn and back into John Deere country as we go back to the race for the lead. And Mickey Isaac working that high lane yet again. I apologize, couldn't reach the mute button quick enough. And Mickey Isaac now slid around Cody Boehm, so put Isaac back up into 2nd as he's trying to fire back up on that high side to get back around the 09 of Dylan Bates. Side by side for the lead, Cody Boehm right there behind as well. Isaac almost cleared Bates as they went down into the corner. Now this time he is going to solidly clear the 09 of Bates. Put Mickey Isaac back up into the lead. I'm surprised no other drivers really have seen him using a high side. Now we see both Cody Boehm and Aaron Adcock moving up to the high side here. And Jonah Colbert's moving up the track a little bit as well. He's got Daniel Pope tucking in behind, and Charles Stevens Jr. and Eddie Smith are battling for position. This is a battle for 7th and 8th. Cody Boehm uses the high side to get around Dylan Bates, so move him up into 2nd. And Aaron Adcock trying to use that high lane to move himself up into 3rd. So as they run right now, Cody Boehm up into the 2nd position. He's your highest running championship driver. Jonah Colbert runs back in 5th. Eddie Smith in the 7th spot, and Daniel Cunningham back in 9th as Eddie Smith just got passed by Charles Stevens Jr. as they're still side by side. And now Cunningham's trying to follow Eddie Smith on through. So still all of our drivers, championship drivers, running in the top 3. Daniel Pope, Dylan Bates. Again, we're seeing that high lane really show some strength, especially on these fresh tires. But out front, Mickey Isaac continues to lead. Not running quite as high up on the track as he was earlier. But he's got Cody Boehm right there behind him. Again, Boehm does not need to win the race. He just has to be the highest finisher of the top four of our championship four. But it looks like Jonah maybe just saving tires a little bit. And with that caution coming out on lap 10, I think it's going to really change the strategy of a lot of these drivers, because they can go about 40 laps, but 2 pit stops will bring them to about lap 90 to 93. So if they can maybe save a little bit of fuel, they can make it on 2 stops. Or excuse me, they can make it on 1 more stop. But for most of these drivers, I think a 2-stop is going to be in their mind. Daniel Cunningham working down to the inside of Charles Stevens Jr. This is a battle for the 8th position, right behind Eddie Smith. And Cunningham's going to move himself up into 8th. And Eddie Smith is trying to run down the 09 of Dylan Bates. And the strength of both Eddie and Jonah, we know, is long run speed. And right now, as they run 4th and 7th, it's really too early to say what they're going to do, because, again, they're masters of saving tires for the end of the run. So we'll see if Mickey Isaac and Cody Boehm are burning up their stuff too much, running up on that high side, or if they're able to continue to hold on up there on the high side. Cody Boehm makes a look down to the inside. That's going to allow Aaron Adcock to close in a little bit as well. Adcock now underneath Boehm. It's a battle for the 2nd position. While they battle side by side, it's going to allow Jonah Colbert to catch up just a little bit. As we ride along here on Jonah Colbert's truck. You're able to see just how strong that top line is right now. And Daniel Pope, who's shown so much speed since joining the league, finds himself running back in the 5th position, as Jonah is now taking a look down, trying to look underneath Aaron Adcock. Jonah's able to get the nose. Now Adcock looking up to the high side of Cody Boehm. And Jonah's trying to follow Adcock right by. Jonah trying to move up into the championship lead by getting around Cody Boehm. And as they run side by side, here comes Daniel Pope. Thought about making it 3 wide for a second. Dylan Bates right back in the mix here as well. Eric Tracy's made his way down pit road to get his pit stop underway. And now Jonah Colbert's moved into the 3rd position. And Cody Boehm has fallen back into 6th. And Eddie Smith and Daniel Cunningham are right behind, trying to pounce as well. Right behind Aaron Adcock, we see the battle here for third between Daniel Pope and Jonah Colbert. Dylan Bates right there in the mix as well. Oh, Jonah got a little loose there on the low side. He's going to fall back solidly into the 5th position, with Cody Boehm and Eddie Smith now battling for the 6th position. So right now, our top 4 drivers run 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. Meanwhile, Aaron Adcock's getting challenged for 2nd from Daniel Pope in that 16 machine down to the low side. And Pope is going to move up into the 2nd position. And now he's going to try to chase down the 01 of Mickey Isaac. This is really where the tires really start to show their age. As we've already seen about 2 seconds of drop off since the drop of the green flag. So put that in perspective, Mickey Isaac's best lap was a 31:12. Last time by, he ran a 32:84, but we look a little further back, Aaron Adcock's best time was a 31:27. Last time by, he ran a 33:22. So already, again, about 2 seconds of drop off for most of these drivers. Although Mickey Isaac working that high line has been able to be pretty consistent and save some tires. Cody Boehm, Daniel Cunningham, this is a battle for 7th, and Cunningham is going to take that position away. That's going to put Daniel Cunningham 1 step closer to winning the championship. As we are about 10 laps, just over 10 laps away from halfway. Ooh, Aaron Adcock loose off of turn number 2. That's going to allow Dylan Bates to get right on by. Here comes Jonah Colbert and Eddie Smith right behind as well. Now, how angry did he make that tire by getting loose there? We'll have to see. As Jonah Colbert's able to sneak right on by. Jonah's still fighting for that position. Now Jonah's going to solidly move up into the fourth. Now, as I say that, Adcock fights back hard on the high side. And we got a battle shaping up for the lead as Daniel Pope is now caught up to the 01 of Mickey Isaac, and he's trying to find his way around that 01. Pope trying to run that high lane, but just a little bit lower. Now Pope trying to look up to the high side. There wasn't much room there to the high side, but he's able to stick that truck there as they go battling side by side down into turn number 1. And Daniel Pope's able to take the lead away from Mickey Isaac. Dylan Bates now runs back in third. And the battle for the championship right here between Jonah Colbert and Eddie Smith. And right behind, we see Daniel Cunningham working down underneath Aaron Adcock. And Cunningham showing some late race speed, or late run speed, excuse me. Now he's up into the 6th position. He's trying to catch up to Eddie Smith and Jonah Colbert as they're using a little bit of bump drafting down the backstretch. And Cody Boehm ain't out of this one either. He's currently only a 2.5 seconds behind Aaron Adcock, running back in the 8th position. So as Eddie Smith now taking a look down to the inside, trying to take over the championship lead, and he will. So move Eddie Smith up in the 1st as now Daniel Cunningham is trying to take a look down to the inside of Jonah Colbert. And Aaron Adcock is right behind as well as they make their way down towards turn number 3. And now Cunningham's going to try looking to the inside of Jonah. Oh, a little loose there for the 54. So he battles side by side with Jonah Colbert. He's going to tuck back in line. Now he's going to try to use the high lane as Kyle Roberts is the first driver to hit pit road. And that is the 68 of Eric Tracy, who is on fresh tires, currently running back in the 18th position. And that really just showed you what fresh tires can do here. As Eric Tracy just drives right on by Eddie Smith as well. We see some smoke on the backstretch, no caution. But here's what happened. Tyler Rice up into the wall. Loses it, catches the inside wall as well, but keeps it down off the racetrack onto the apron. So no caution. As Daniel Cunningham's trying to run down the 31 of Jonah Colbert. So Eddie Smith now your championship leader over Jonah Colbert by 0.5 seconds. And Daniel Cunningham runs back in 3rd. Cody Boehm runs back. I'm sorry. Daniel Cunningham runs back in 6th, 3rd in the championship points. And Cody Boehm back in 8th. As Eddie Smith is trying to now work around Mickey Isaac, trying to take over that 3rd position. And Cody Boehm, our first championship driver to make his way down onto pit road. Garrett Kinder says, championship racing, love it. How are you, Josh? I'm doing well, Garrett. Good to see you joining here tonight. As here comes Eddie Smith looking down underneath the 01 of Mickey Isaac, trying to take away that 3rd position. We crossed the line this time. We will have hit halfway. As Jonah Colbert now looking down to the inside, trying to get around Mickey Isaac and trying to get himself back up into the championship lead. If you're just tuning in, this is the final race of the season. Our championship 4, which are highlighted in red, currently running for the championship right now. Again, they don't have to win the race. They just have to finish higher than the other 3 championship drivers. Those drivers are Eddie Smith, Jonah Colbert, Daniel Cunningham, and Cody Boehm. Jonah looking down underneath Mickey Isaac, and Isaac showed a lot of speed on fresh tires, but since then, he's starting to fall back like a rock up on that high side. Not working for him like it was earlier in the race. Josh Oswald coming down onto pit road. I think these drivers are going to try to stretch as far as they can, as Daniel Cunningham now right there on the back bumper of Jonah Colbert. Because these drivers last pit on lap number 13. And we figure it's about 40 to 40, I'm going to say right around 40 laps they can make on a fuel run. That's what we saw in the first race. So I expect to see drivers making their way down on the pit road in the next 2 or 3 laps. Daniel Pope continues to stay out, and if that happens, will they be able to save enough fuel to make it to the end? Looks like everybody's going to stay out on track this time. Matt Kleeman comes down on the pit road. Now Eddie Smith has moved up to that high side, which we saw Mickey Isaac running in the beginning of the race. Oh, Jonah Colbert caught the grass just a little bit, got that truck upset as he was trying to work around the inside of Mickey Isaac. We're still seeing that 31 struggle for grip a little bit, especially off the corners. As he looks back down to the inside. And now Jonah's going to make his way down onto pit road. And so is Eddie Smith, so a much better pit stop for Jonah Colbert this week than we saw on Friday night. Charles Stevens Jr. and Spencer Gay also making their way down on the pit road. So that's going to leave Daniel Pope, Dylan Bates, Mickey Isaac, Daniel Cunningham, all on pit road. All on the racetrack. Now Daniel Pope makes his way down on the pit road, so Dylan Bates is going to take over the lead of the race. And Daniel Cunningham stays out one more lap as well. And Cody Boehm was the first driver of the playoff 4 to make their way down onto pit road. We'll see how much this pays an advantage to him. Now Dylan Bates makes his way down onto pit road. Jonah is down and away. But he is behind Cody Boehm by quite a bit. Waiting for things to start equalizing here. Brandon Wallace still out on track. Sounds like he's trying to stretch that fuel run a little bit further. No, he's going to come down pit road this time. And that is going to give the lead over to Cody Boehm. And Cody Boehm is going to have a 7-second lead over Daniel Pope. And by an 8-second lead over championship hopeful Jonah Colbert. Eddie Smith right there behind Jonah as well. And then Daniel Cunningham currently running back in the 9th position. And he's about 5 seconds behind Jonah. So Cody Boehm trying to win the championship here on strategy, as he's got a 7-second lead over Daniel Pope with 40 laps to go when they cross the line this time. Of course, this is the season finale. We'll be kicking back up after the new year with the original Rebels Racing League. The SCSRA will be starting back up in about 2 weeks' time. Of course, Doghouse Racing League is still running. We'll see them on Tuesday night. If you like short track racing, tune in Tuesday night at 8 p.m. for the Doghouse Racing League, brought to you by Shoney's, as they'll be taking on Five Flags Speedway. Well, Daniel Pope, Jonah Colbert, Dylan Pope, Daniel Bates. I'm going to try this one more time. Daniel Pope, Dylan Bates, Jonah Colbert, Eddie Smith, all under a blanket here, running 2nd through 5th. As Bates is able to move back up into the 2nd position, and these guys are catching Cody Boehm pretty quickly, actually. The interval is now down to just over 5 seconds. As we see, the difference in speed is about a second a lap now. But that's what about 10 laps fresher tires will do for you. So again, Cody out there trying to win the championship using a little bit of strategy. He's hoping to really use this strategy to his advantage. He's hoping for a yellow to come out in the next 10 to 15 laps. Now bring everybody down on pit road for fresh tires and fuel to make it to the end. The rest of the field should be just about on the line for making it on fuel. Cody Boehm is going to be quite a few laps short. And that's what Cody might be doing right now, is he's really fallen off the pace compared to the leaders, but he could be just saving tires, saving fuel to make it to the end. Jonah Colbert runs back in the 3rd position. Eddie Smith right behind in 4th. Then you go 3 seconds back, you'll find the 01 of Mickey Isaac running back in 6th. And then Daniel Cunningham about a second, just over a second behind Mickey Isaac running back in the 7th position. And Daniel Pope is catching Cody Boehm in a hurry. That interval is now 1.5 seconds. As we ride along here with Pope, and you see just how quickly he's gaining on the 78 machine. And Dylan Bates right there on the back bumper as well. But these two are catching Cody Boehm, and they are there. And Boehm's going to have to stay up on the high side and let both Daniel Pope and Dylan Bates go right on by. But now, it doesn't matter about them because he doesn't have to win the race. But he does have to try to keep Jonah Colbert and Eddie Smith behind him. As Jonah's taking a look down to the inside. And Jonah's going to take over the lead of the championship. And Eddie Smith going to take a look down to the inside. He's going to take over the 4th position. We cross the line this time. We'll have just 30 laps to go. To crown a winner and a champion here tonight. Saw Corey Hines win the championship in the first race tonight by winning the race. Again, you don't necessarily have to win the race. You just have to finish ahead of the other 3 championship drivers. Right now, Jonah Colbert is doing a good job of staying out in front of Eddie Smith, Cody Boehm, and Daniel Cunningham. As Cunningham is working around Mickey Isaac, he'll move Cunningham up into the 5th position, but he is 4 seconds behind 4th place Eddie Smith. And Cody Boehm now on pit road to make his final pit stop of the night. Right side's going up. Let's see if he just takes 2 tires. That might be a call here that he might make. Nope. Looks like it's going to be 4 tires. No, it is just 2 tires. So just 2 tires for Cody Boehm. Gets him back out onto the racetrack without losing too much time, but he is going to lose 1 lap to the leaders. As we see the battle for the lead heating up between Daniel Pope and Dylan Bates. And the battle for the championship heating up between Jonah Colbert and Eddie Smith. Again, 2 totally separate races on the racetrack, if you will. One for the race win, one for the championship. You see Aaron Adcock right there on the back bumper of Daniel Cunningham. Trying to push him around here, give him a little bit of help around the racetrack. Charlie Elmore just hit pit road. And Dylan Bates now showing just a little bit more speed than that 16 of Daniel Pope. It's one thing to catch a driver. It's another thing to get around him. As Bates is trying to take a look. Just can't make anything happen. And this time when we cross the line, we'll have just 25 laps to go. And again, just because we're finishing the season here tonight doesn't mean we're not going to have racing here on Intensity. We still have the Tuesday Night Truck Series with Shoney's Doghouse Racing League and the Thunderstruck Super Series still out there as well. Next week, they'll be racing from Martinsville Speedway as they have 2 races left in their season. See Jonah Colbert, Eddie Smith running back in 3rd and 4th. Neither one of them able to make up much ground on our leaders. But the important question is, do they have enough fuel to make it to the end? Alex Veith now making his way down onto pit road. Kyle Roberts is on pit road as well. He's been on pit road for a while. Looks like he's out of the race. So that tells me that there is questions if any other drivers will be able to make it to the end on fuel. especially Dylan Bates and Daniel Pope racing each other as hard as they have been, pushing each other. Neither one of them really able to save fuel. Cody Boehm just got around Lance Spanberg to take over the 11th position. And that's important to note because that puts Cody Boehm in the lucky dog position. So if the yellow flag was to come out, he'd be able to get himself back onto the lead lap and in contention for the championship once again. Of course, we've got drivers who may still need to make a pit stop as we see just those right side tires, how much more speed Cody Boehm is able to get as it gets real loose off of turn number 2, able to hold on to it right there in front of Daniel Cunningham. He was hoping for a caution. He almost was the caution. Kyle Roberts back on track, but having some issues. He was just running through the grass. As Bates has shown a little bit of speed here at the end of the run. And he's trying to get to the inside of Daniel Pope, and he will indeed get to the inside as they come through the quad oval. Down into turn number 1, we have 19 laps to go. Lance Spanberg just made his way down onto pit road. And Bates was just not able to clear Daniel Pope. It's like Spanberg had a penalty he had to serve on pit road. That's why he made another pit stop. But things are starting to heat up here as Jonah Colbert continues to lead over Eddie Smith by 0.2 of a second. Daniel Cunningham 3 seconds behind those two. Cody Boehm back in 11th, but in the lucky dog position if the yellow was to come out. So far, pretty clean racing. We just had that one incident on lap number 13. And since then, we've been green flag, including some green flag pit stops. Eddie Smith has Kyle Roberts right behind. It's giving him a little bit of a push towards Jonah Colbert. As now Jonah starting to run a little bit quicker than our front two drivers. He's starting to eat into the gap between first and second. And Kyle Roberts is back on pit road. I think it's going to end the night for Kyle Roberts. As we have 14 laps to go. Daniel Pope still has the 09 of Dylan Bates right there on the back bumper. Both drivers have been matching lap times for the most part. Last time by, Pope ran a 33.10. Bates ran a 33.9. Colbert also ran a 33.10. Eddie Smith ran a 33.06. Daniel Cunningham ran a 33.02. Bates keeps closing up on the back bumper, but just not able to make the move to try to take over the lead. See the little bit of a run he gets down, but just not able to drive as deep into the corner. But he's able to pick up the throttle so much earlier, and that's why these two have been so even. Oh, I don't know why my screen did that yet again. And I do apologize for the screen flicker there. We have just 10 laps to go. Now Bates looking down to the low side. Dylan Pope running up on the high side as they come down off of turn number 2. And you see the battle for the championship right behind Jonah Colbert out in front of Eddie Smith. Eddie Smith won the Friday night Grand National Championship. He's trying to go 2 in a row with championships on Friday night and Sunday night. The only thing standing in between him and the championship is his teammate, Jonah Colbert, who runs out in front. Bates again gets the run, continues to sneak up on the back bumper, but Pope just able to drive into the corner so much deeper. In the chat, oh, here comes the battle for the lead. Nope. Bates was able to, has to tuck back in line in the chat. Matt Kleeman says the 19 did not want to be the factor coming out of the night into the top 4. So I had to tell you thanks and congratulations on a great season ×2. Thank you, Matt. I saw the message right at the end of the last broadcast. I do appreciate all the kind words. And then he says, P.S. We missed you out there, Garrett Kinder. As we know, Kinder has had to work and missed most of the season. But we're coming to 6 laps to go here. Daniel Pope, Dylan Bates continue to battle for the lead. Jonah Colbert, Eddie Smith continue to battle for the championship. And if you're questioning if these drivers have enough fuel to make it to the end, as hard as they're pushing each other, I imagine they'll be able to make it to the end, but stranger things have happened. As Dylan Bates has some issues, he's fallen off quite a bit off of Daniel Pope, almost a full second back. So does he have enough time with 4 laps to go to run back down the 16 of Daniel Pope? Aaron Adcock continues to ride in right behind Daniel Cunningham. Then the battle for the championship is Eddie Smith now working that high lane, trying to do anything he can to get an advantage and win his second championship of the week. Eddie up on the high side, using that momentum, trying to get a run on his teammate Jonah Colbert and play spoiler. As Jonah's been dominating most of the season and this race in the championship. Two laps to go. Daniel Pope has a half-second lead over second place Dylan Bates. Jonah Colbert has a 1/10 of a second lead over Eddie Smith as Eddie gets the rundown into turn at number 3. Coming to the white flag, 1 lap to go. Daniel Pope continues to lead out in front by half a second, but the battle for the championship is what we're focused on right now as they come through turns 1 and 2. Eddie Smith up on the high side. Jonah running that low side. Eddie got such a huge run down the backstretch last time. This time, he's got that run again as he's going to take a look down to the inside as he go down into turns 3 and 4. Eddie Smith down on the bottom. Jonah Colbert up on the high side. This is a battle for the championship as they come off of turn number 4. Jonah Colbert up on the high side. Eddie Smith and Jonah is going to win the championship over Eddie Smith by that much. What an incredible race. What an incredible win. And, of course, we can't sell Daniel Pope out short either, as Daniel Pope is the winner of the race. Wow. What a last lap, man. That was absolutely incredible. Daniel Pope, your winner. Jonah Colbert is your champion. Take a look in the chat. The chat is blowing up. Everybody's just blown away by the finish here tonight as Jonah Colbert. Everybody's doing donuts at the end of the race. I'm just speechless at that last lap. What an attempt by Eddie Smith to try to go and win his second championship of the week. Let's take a look at the final results. Again, Daniel Pope gets the win here tonight over Dylan Bates. Jonah Colbert comes home third with the championship. Eddie Smith just a little bit short in fourth. Aaron Adcock brings it home in fifth. Daniel Cunningham brings it home sixth. Charles Stevens, Spencer Gay, Mickey Isaac, and Brandon Wallace round out your top 10. Josh Oswald in 11th. Cody Boehm brings it home in 12th. 13th, Lance Sponberg, Eric Tracy in 14th, and Charlie Elmore round out the top 15. Alex Veith brings it home in 16th, Matt Kleeman in 17th, Kyle Roberts and Tyler Rice round out the field here tonight at Atlanta. And we're going to go a little different order here tonight. We're going to start with our second place finisher, Dylan Bates. Dylan, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
I got you.
Man, great run here tonight. Bringing home in second. Looked like you were a little bit quicker on the straightaways than Daniel, but he was able to drive in just a little bit deeper. And then I'm not sure what happened with about 5 laps ago. Looks like you just fell off the earth from him. But man, what a great race! And what happened there towards the end?
Oh, well, me and Daniel are teammates, so I decided I was just gonna stay committed to his back bumper until the end when it was time to make something happen. And then there with like 5 to go, right when I decided I was gonna start going, I just pushed it a little too hard off two and grabbed the wall and just scrubbed my momentum. I was still a little faster than him there right at the end, but I lost too much track position when I scrubbed the wall a little bit. So good win for Pope. It was a lot of fun for us 16 XCI guys out there, and we had a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure, and a great run for you as well. Started up at the front, tried to play spoiler to the championship for there, but great clean race for you, and only one caution, which I was kind of surprised about. Were you kind of surprised by the lack of cautions out there tonight as well?
For how much the truck starts sliding around there late in the run, yeah, I was kind of surprised that there wasn't more cautions for sure, but no, it turned out good.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congratulations on the podium. We look forward to seeing what you can do next season with these boys running a full season. Before we let you go, though, anyone you want to thank, anyone shout out you got to give?
Just Daniel Pope and Parker Traves and all the guys back at 16 XCI Racing. Yeah, well, next season should be fun. We're looking forward to running the whole season, so we'll see if we can make it to the championship.
Well, again, awesome job, and we look forward to seeing you next season as well.
All right, man. Thank you.
Have a great night.
You too.
There you have it, your second place finisher, Dylan Bates. Let's bring in your race winner here tonight, the 16 of Daniel Pope. Daniel, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Man, a great run for you here tonight. Showing a lot of speed. You and your teammate there racing at the end. You were showing a little bit more speed into the corner. He was getting you a little bit down the straightaway. And man, if he didn't catch the wall there, I think that would have been an exciting finish.
Yeah, I'm kind of bummed he got the wall. I wanted to see how that was going to play out. We were playing chess. We were sitting in Discord together, and we've been chatting back and forth. And with 12 to go, it went silent, and I knew it was on. And so I moved up to the outside to try to take away any straightaway runs. And when I did, it cut the air off to him, and he wound up making a mistake. But it was an absolute blast racing tonight.
For sure. Started up near the front, moved yourself up into the lead, and just battling everybody out there for the win. It seemed like there was battles all night long on the track, and you were in the middle of it, most of it. So great run this season. The last couple of races I know you ran. Are you looking forward to next season at all?
Absolutely. I'll be back running the full season. I had a blast, absolute blast running with this league. It's they've got a really good thing going here, and they need to stay with it. This is a phenomenal league right now.
Awesome, man. Well, before we let you go, I know you got a couple thanks and shout outs you got to give.
For sure. My guys over at SPM, Dylan, so much fun getting to race against him. Me and Dylan been best friends on this sim now for about 3 years, and it's a lot of fun to get to duel it out with him. And then of course the league, and then Jason Warren's School of Racing Etiquette. Without that, I'm not sure any of us could do this.
Awesome, man. Well, again, we appreciate the shout outs, and we look forward to seeing what you can do with the full season next season. So good luck, and we hope to talk to you again soon.
Sounds good, man.
Have a great night.
You too.
So that was your winner here tonight, Daniel Pope. And yes, we went a little bit out of order, but we're going to bring in your third place finisher in the race, but your first place finisher in the championship, Jonah Colbert. Jonah, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Hey, Josh, what's going on?
Man, from heartbreak on Friday night to the championship tonight, man, just a up and down season of emotions right there in the last weekend. But congratulations on the championship, and it almost got away from you there right at the last lap. Talk about racing there with your teammate Eddie.
It was a lot of fun. You know, Eddie's always going to try to put on a show for the folks back home. So I knew it was coming, and we were joking around and chat about it. And I was like, well, if he's going to send it, I'm going to go high and then just hang on to it. As long as it didn't get loose, I figured we'd be good. The high line was actually pretty quick. I didn't want to burn my tires up there during the run, so we just kind of settled in together and figured we'd make it a show there with one to go. But that was it was a fun race, a fun season. Griff did a great job making the schedule and putting all this together for everybody. I love this league. It's a lot of fun racing around these guys. it was fun racing around the new guys too. Daniel Pope and them, Dylan Bates, all those guys. They they put on some good racing up front. Real clean, real respectable. So yeah, I mean it was a blast.
You like to steal my questions. Luckily, it's the last race of the season because you always steal the questions before I ask them. But actually, kind of going back to that, how were you kind of surprised to see that high lane be as effective as it was, especially Mickey Isaac, right at the beginning of the race, just plowing through the field up there on the high side?
Not really, because Atlanta is one of my old Atlanta like is one of my favorite tracks, and traditionally the High Line has always been really fast as long as the setup allows it, which usually it does. But the problem with the High Line is it usually burns off the tires, but it didn't really seem to do that too awful bad tonight. So uh whenever I saw everybody ripping the High Line early, I'm like, oh, I'll get them back, and then 20 laps into the run, and I mean, yeah, I was on their bumper, but I wasn't able to just drive around them like before. So I was actually kind of surprised that their tires didn't fall off more. So, but other than that, no, I ran some C fixed here today and just to kind of see how it went, see how it raced, and it's its track is a blast, and I hope they never take it out of iRacing just because it puts on such good racing.
Yeah, for sure. And it seems like everybody in the Final Four put their work in this weekend for practice. So, real quick, we got some shout outs in the chat here. Let's see, we got Garrett Kinder saying, Attaboy 31, congrats to the Final Four guys. Matt Kleeman saying JC Motorsports tug of war, and Kinder saying trophy staying in Oklahoma. So,
Had a boy. Yeah.
But man,
It was
before
a,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, yeah, it was a good season. Sucks Kinder couldn't be here with us to end the season. You know, he had to work and stuff and kind of changed up his schedule. Otherwise, I figured I'd be battling him up there for the lead too. So, but shout out to Kinder for supporting everybody, and shout out to Cody Boehm. Dude was fast all season. I love racing with Cody, man. He's one of the coolest dudes in Rebels. Sorry, Kinder. I think he's cooler than you, but yeah. Shout out to Eddie and Daniel, my teammates. They've been in the chat every race of the season, helping each other out. Just good friends. And this league is the best league out there at racing, just because you got everybody gets along with everybody. It's like a beer league, so it's a lot of fun, and I enjoy it a lot.
Yeah, how about that? Three of the four championship drivers were all JC Motorsports. So you guys had a pretty good chance to win the championship here tonight.
Yeah, we got that JRM thing going on, the Junior Motorsports thing going. Just using their strategy. You get three people in the championship, you got a pretty good shot to win it. But luckily, we didn't get beat in the 3-1 because that would have been bad. But no, it was fun.
Well, again, congratulations on the championship. Before I let you go, anybody want to thank, any shots you got to give?
Like I said, I just want to give a shout out to William Griffith for this whole series. It's been run by him, and for doing everything he's done in the league. He's a good dude, and it's been a blast racing in Rebels. Other than that, shout out to Intensity Broadcasting for broadcasting this series this whole season, and Holly Sheet Metal and all the guys over there. That's about it.
And Kinder did say, I agree, Cody is cooler. So
glad we finally agree on something, Kinder.
Well, again, congrats on the championship. We look forward to seeing if you can repeat next season as well. So good luck, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, thanks.
There you have it. Your winner your champion tonight, Jonah Colbert. Again, we want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight and all the great sponsors of the league, including Holl Heating and Sheet Metal, Kinder Farm and Ranch, Peg Leg Felts, Thunderstruck Super Series, Cofield Asphalt Refinishing, and all the great partners that we have here at Intensity Broadcasting, including Race EPI, The Butt Kicker, and IntensityBroadcasting.com. Well, that's going to do it as we close this chapter of the season. As soon as we know when the season is going to refire, we'll let you know. Check out our Facebook page for all announcements. Check out the Rebels pages as well. And of course, thank you for joining us here tonight. Don't forget to hit that like button, follow, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you know anytime we go live here on Intensity Broadcasting. And of course, as our boy Atlee Atman Weiss would say, over and out.